day. Um, Hopefully, most of you can hear me, or maybe all of you at this point, except maybe Keith. Um, Welcome to our March Land and Support User Group. I'm glad to have you today. Uh, to my left is Izzy as well.
Hi.
I'm going to add that a bit of Second Life came actually to the Game Developers Conference last week. Second Life had their first ever booth at the event. One of our few times we've actually been at an event like that. Several of us were at the booth there, showing off some of the upcoming Lua scripting options, a few other creator tools, and so forth. We did share a couple of photos of the booth over on Flickr and other social medias that were taken by yours truly. At that, on Flickr. It was a lot of fun. It was really neat to see a number of some of our content creators and others who are regular Second Lifers show up and say hi. So that was a lot of fun. Hopefully, we'll do that again sometime. It's always fun to kind of get people together and do that kind of thing.
Absolutely. I guess that means it's my turn. Any anybody here excited for SL22B?
I am.
Me too. Our 22nd birthday is coming up. It's going to be from June 20th through July 20th, and our theme of the year is myths and legends, which I'm very, very, very excited for. So this one should be a lot of fun. The exhibitor applications are open right now, so you can be sure to go ahead and get those applications in. Let me get you the link for that right here, because my system is deciding, no, I don't want a copy. Here we go. And keep an eye on our blog at community.secondlife.com/news as we put out more information, including when we're going to be having like applications for performers, volunteers, and the shop and hop. So definitely keep an eye out for that. I know all of you guys just come for the exhibits and not for the shop and hop, but you know, just in case. We want to buy all the things.
It's fun. So, other news, Linden Homes, the Thousand Island Linden Homes are very popular. We've been adding more every couple of days, and they do keep selling out. For those that are seeking them, I recommend checking the home selector often. And also, just as an extra tip, know that the grotto styles also include the regular home styles in the home controller, should you actually want to live above the ocean. So if you're looking for that beautiful on the water home and all you see are the grottos mentioned, they're in there too. So you don't have to worry about that. We're also, of course, still preparing some new homes in the other styles as well. Uh, and who knows, we might even have some new styles to release sometime soon.
Yep,
Nothing I can share, but more on that when we can.
I can hint about it.
You can.
Want me to say one hint?
Sure.
Oh no, I was asking the people here. Do you guys want me to say one hint?
Oh, they don't want it.
Oh, okay. All right, then go ahead. The one hint I'm going to say is very, very vague, but it also is right hitting the nail on the head. It's just you won't realize it until it's actually revealed. The next Linden Home theme includes one of the most requested features ever. And I am so excited for it. But I'm not going to tell you what it is.
So we're finally putting in the minibar? Oh, I wasn't supposed to say. I'm sorry.
I would still love to know how popular a national park would be, like, funded by being a Linden home area, but nobody can build below 2,000 meters. So you'd have, like, completely big, like, trees and lakes and mountains and all that on the floor that anybody can go around.
That's a really neat idea, and I will say that the community area in mind for this next Linden Home theme, while it isn't that, I think people will be very, very, very excited for it as well. Wendy,
Oh, and
once you
also,
finish this section, I've got something else to throw out there too.
well, yeah, I was just going to also mention that last month we did allow our standard plus members to hold a 512 Linden home for the first time. Those are the Sakura, Newbrook, and the camper trailers are all 512s. And also we upped some of the land impact. So 512 Linden homes now support 234 land impact. The 1024 ones now support 468 meter or 468. And the 2048 meter homes now get 937 in land impact. That's an increase from 175, 351, and 703 land impact before. So it's a fairly substantial jump. And for now, of course, mainland and estate land impacts haven't changed, but specifically the Linden homes.
Yeah, the two things I wanted to add was number one, I specifically made sure that this next theme was premium, not premium plus. Even though it would almost seem appropriate for it to be premium plus because of this really cool ask that we're finally coming out and doing, but I thought that it would be unfair to do it as a premium plus because I want everybody to enjoy it. I will say this feature is not going to be on any other Linden Home theme, and if at some point we decide to start adding it into previous themes, it's going to take quite some time. So I just want to minimize expectations that while we might add stuff like this going forward, it'll be a long time before we go retroactive to the other ones. So just keep that in mind. The other thing I wanted to mention is there's a certain date coming up next week that most people probably greatly enjoy in Second Life. Can anybody tell me what that date is?
I
Thank you,
can
Seattle.
probably wear an item that.
This year's
There we go.
April 1st is going to be, in my opinion, bigger than ever. So I just wait until you see the blog and all the stuff. The hint for April 1st, Seattle, that's what you want? Does anybody else? Mass hysteria. That's my hint. Mass hysteria.
Oh, you're giving it away, is he?
I like giving it away and not giving anybody an idea of what I just gave away. Next topic here is about mobile millions. I hope some of you guys have been watching the streams and stuff, but for those that don't know, we've been promoting our mobile viewer lately. This month with our mobile millions promotion. In addition to the daily login rewards, we've had the opportunity for residents to spin to win up to 1 million Linden dollars. And we've already had one winner of the big prize too. And you can learn more about that here at this link here.
It was cool to watch that go down as well, Izzy, to watch that win.
I was off. I didn't get to see it.
I'll have to send you. We have it on our YouTube.
Awesome.
Really neat to kind of see that drop in and
I would have
the
lost
surprise
it
of
if
it
I'd
all.
been watching when it happened.
Oh yeah. Darcy sounds like he did during it.
And Melissa, yes, we do already have mass hysteria, but this is even more mass hysteria. Off to you.
Yeah. So Project Zero. Project Zero's gotten something new, as well as the standard version using the official viewer, which is still free hour use and getting a lot of use. We are now offering a Firestorm version. Unlike the other, the Firestorm version does require a fee to use. We are offering a 5-hour package for 250 lindens, which works out to about $1 US. I feel it's also important to note that these have been in somewhat limited supply. They've been selling out very regularly. It's been kind of hard to keep that in stock, but we're doing what we can on it. We know that it's become very popular very fast. If you're interested in trying out Project Zero, I recommend reading this and getting the information on it. Also, if you have used Project Zero, either the Firestorm or the official viewer version, and you want to give us some feedback on it, including telling us, hey, give us more time, feel free to put in your bug reports or feature requests, suggestions, that sort of thing, via our feedback portal at feedback.secondlife.com. We would absolutely love to hear it.
Definitely, and that's not a lip service statement. That they really are going through those and using them.
They are combed through every day.
Absolutely. For those of you
that
are
Discord users,
I'm sorry, what was that?
Oh, so they gave it a go early on when it was stock viewer only. If you've got a potato PC that never gets above 1 frame per second, you might like it.
Absolutely. And for those of you that use Discord, we recently opened up our own Discord server, allowing yet another avenue to share with the Second Life community. You can even link Discord to your Second Life account. And you can find more about that via this link right here. And while they're not doing support via Discord or anything at the moment, it is a great way to just get into the community and also asking each other, questions and getting answers a lot more quickly that way. So it should be pretty useful to everybody. If you want, you can link your Discord account to your Second Life avatar account. A lot of places will let you do that with other games and stuff like that. Correct. Right, because we don't want, Sassy, I'm just going to pick on you, but we don't want somebody to make an account called, Sassy in Discord and act like they are Sassy in Second Life without that linking there. So it's a protection for everybody. Very true, Sassy. Very, very true.
Yes, that way we'll know that you are the you are. Borrow from Severance. Any questions so far? Anything we've discussed? Please feel free to put them out. We'd love to help out. I'm also going to share some stuff that I've been working on as well. The whole team, really. We've just finished up some restoration work in the snowlands on the mainland, right around Chalet Linden in Wingen. All 3 ski lifts are back up in full operation for the first time in many years. And the chalet itself has seen some repairs too. Additionally, all the ski resers have been re-added in with free mesh skis and poles, as well as sled and inner tube resers at the top of the mountains. There's some skating animations on the ice, and even a hot air balloon tour of the area. Saw a request for a landmark. Right around there. We're also now expanding this work to the former Team Grid copy of the Snowlands around the Sierra and Rainier regions. The lift in Sierra is restored. Ski sled and tube risers have also been installed there. The lift in Rainier is also fixed, but we're working with the landowner in the area just to make sure the lift chairs continue to work correctly. Once that's complete, we'll also be finishing up that project and adding in the skiing and so forth up there. Yes, just in time for some spring skiing, I know, but better late than never. Once complete, of course, this will be the first time. I just love this throwing in a fact like this. Will be the first time that the former Teen Grid chairlifts have been in full operation since March of 2006.
Oof.
So I'm very glad to see that finally working and fully usable.
I've got a quick question for the group here. How many of you still use the community regions for Linden Homes? Not like the Bellis area fairgrounds and stuff like that, but the specific themed community region for each Linden Home theme. Because from what I've seen, I see that for maybe a month to maybe 3 months, people check it out and there's activity there and everything, and then it kind of quickly dies off unless there's something to do there. The intention initially was to leave them fairly open so that way people could go ahead and use them for their own parties and stuff like that without rental kind of a situation, so it'd have to be ad hoc. But what I'm trying to do now is when a theme lends to an idea for a community area, make it a community area that has something to do. So that's kind of what I'm trying to do. Adam, what kind of issue over at Belly Fairground? Okay. Yeah, definitely submit an abuse report if there's an issue like that over there. And Seattle, that's easily possible. That's why in the blogs going forward, when we have a community region, I plan to put the community region information in there as well.
Yeah, Damsky, that's what I meant by my comment. You might need to keep better eyes on those because they are ripe, as it were.
My idea on top of that is I want to put a teleport button to the community region for that theme in the control panel for the Linden Home. So hopefully that'll help too. All right, that's a great idea too, Seattle. I'll definitely bring that up. And I get that, Gigi. I mean, sometimes you really just want to be a homebody and enjoy your personal environment, decorate it how you want, and live that comfortable situation in the area that you know and can control. So I get that too. I just want to make sure that, one, we're not putting a ton of effort into building more and more community regions that aren't going to get used, and put our effort into, what if instead of every theme, every third theme has one that's actually interactive and useful and, more vibrant and whatnot. So that's kind of what I'm trying to look at.
Would it be possible to set up like a calendar board that had rental boxes for each day, and there wasn't a silly price attached to it or anything, but if you turned up at the community board and you saw that next Friday, Saturday and Sunday was free, you could actually, maybe with a maximum of 3 days, you could buy those days, and those days would belong to your family's activities or whatever you want to put on, rather than going through the ticketing system and adding more load to the Lindens.
That's a great idea, and with the fact that we've actually put some Casper rental type possibilities in it, that actually might be a possibility. So I will definitely look into that. What would you figure? Something like 10 million lindens per day? I'm just kidding.
But but something that would mean that their name would be on record, so they'd have to make sure that they were then responsible for whatever went on at that time. So yeah, I think that that would be really cool. It'd be like turning up to a park that had barbecues set up that you pay to use and stuff like that. But
And kind
without
of like
having
an
to contact the
HOA where you
council.
rent out the clubhouse kind of a thing.
Yeah, but without without a Linden having to be using their resources to set that up with people, and it would also mean it is 24 hours because they would just be turning up and getting it. And then that means if there was a calendar, if you had like a couple of months in advance, or the whole year in advance, people could actually, grab things and
Yeah.
set up things accordingly, get live acts or whatever. I think that would be really fun.
I really like that, and especially if we can, set it up to auto remove your name at the end of it, and if it goes into your name when you rent it, then that means you can throw it into the events calendar and stuff too.
Right, that would be really, really helpful for people, and maybe some of the fundraising events or just small little gatherings, family stuff like that. It could be really fun. And maybe an option, I just thought of this one, maybe an option to make it public or private. So you could sort of say, this is going to be a public event, we want everybody to come, or this is going to be a private, birthday of friends and family only sort of thing.
The only issue with the private that I can think of is obviously, well, one, it would have to be the entire region parcel, but that's not necessarily a problem. But also, we know there are ways to get around those things on the on regions that are adjacent to each other side by side. So we'd have to keep that in mind. But yeah, I'll definitely pass that along and see what we can do.
Right. Sorry, with private, I didn't mean nobody can turn up and you're, going to get in trouble for even stepping on our soil sort of situation. But you know what I mean? Sort of,
Yeah.
this is a private gathering, not a private, no other person can be here sort of thing. So that way people can look out for the public events where there's going to be something that may be fun for them to do. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree, definitely. Any other questions that anybody has?
I will step in a bit on this just to say, yeah, we are still seeing some support backlog, and everyone is working very hard to try to get through it, as well as making sure that we have at least our chats and phones going during regular hours. We are looking at expanding again in the future, including weekend times. But I don't have any ETA on that or anything like that at this point.
Let's see here. Just checking.
We're at about a half hour. If there's anything else to feel free to jump in. Sorry for jumping over you, Izzy.
No worries, no worries. NS, just so you know, if you go to lindenlab.com/careers, there's actually positions available at the moment for customer success specialist and the supervisor for customer success. So those are things to keep in mind. And for those of you that have mentioned about weekend and evenings and stuff like that, they are definitely looking at, yes, I do, those situations. Oh, thank you, Wendy. Those situations and how we can better cover and such. But we've been building up the support staff actually currently. And for those of you who have ever been in a small team environment, you know that when you add a bunch of new people, it actually decreases productivity for a little bit before it increases, because some of your existing people that was doing work now is training the new people. So it actually kind of makes it harder for a little bit, and we appreciate that you guys are bearing with us, but we are working on it.
I will say I've been doing remote and homework since before it was cool, so
Oh, me too.
That's the thing.
I bet I was doing it in the 90s for AT&T, so I get you. And
Yeah,
Active.
same. Not AT&T, but yeah.
I was like, wait a minute, I didn't see you there, Wendy.
I was hiding from you.
Sure, Adam. Nix, I'm not sure, but you can always apply and ask.
And I would say that it was that very link that I actually went through and filled out my application 6 years ago. So
And as far as those two positions, they are both currently Duluth. I don't know if they make exceptions or whatnot, but currently they're listed as both being Duluth.
no problem with asking, however.
Right, exactly.
You wouldn't even need to hire as an employee. I'm self-employed anyway, so just be net 30.
Yes, it's in Georgia next. Adam, I thought I felt your view gazing over my building for a minute. Trixie, it was a professional decision that they wanted support to be in office so that way we can more easily collaborate with one another, train each other, have huddles and stand-ups and everything like that. Beyond that, I don't really have any information, but I do know that there is definitely an advantage to being able to go out and deal with the team here. But beyond that, since I'm not actually in the support team anymore, I can't really go too further into it.
Any other questions on, I don't know, um, land issues or, some other issues? Please feel free to jump in.
Actually have a that turned into a thank God yesterday. I created a main store build using bits and pieces of other builds, so it's completely unique as a build. And I was building a fence for it, and at some point I deleted the whole store with my back turned to it and didn't realize.
Oh no.
And when I finally found which item it was, thanks to the wonderful settings in our inventory, being able to work out last hour and created by others settings, because it was it was coalesced, and I had about 500 coalesced items in just the last day or so. I was able to try and res it, but it wouldn't res back. So I went to the Welcome Hub sandbox and resed it there, dismantled the fence part that was causing it to be too big for the plot, and made about 5 copies before I took it back to my inventory, and then was able to res it back. So yay for sandboxes.
Very cool. If you ever have that happen and it won't res out, sometimes it's because a Linden item got stuck in it when it got returned, and you can always, oh God, put it in a support ticket, and we've got a special area that'll help you res that out too.
I wasn't actually sure what could be done because it was mainland, but yeah, I was like, where's Midori?
Yeah. Any other questions?
I would say that for that, you may want to go ahead and file a report on those. And one way or another, governance, trust, and safety will take a look at that and make a decision on if that's under covenant or not.
And was that about Seattle's statement, Wendy?
Make sure I was saying to the right person.
Because also
Oh, sorry, that was that was actually Seattle.
okay.
With
Because
placing of off-sim items.
yeah, also the moles actually do govern in there and will check for covenant violations and stuff like that as well. So it sometimes takes longer than via reports, but they do check the Linden home regions for violators.
Given voice, I mean, I know it's not entirely the lab's fault, but given voice is increasingly broken these days, are there any plans to, I mean, it would be great to be able to just submit a support ticket and say, can I be on a pre-flight region, please? For people who run voice hubs and the likes.
If you do want to be on that, actually, we do allow you to take it on that. It is handled on a case-by-case basis.
And they have to keep in mind the fact that if it is a public region, what's best for all the people that are using it.
Yeah, I mean, it's just so I can let people that I know who have these problems know that there might be a path for them to potentially get things working. Because they're having problems every day at this point.
Adam, I'm actually not sure the answer to that one anymore.
Yeah, I think I answered that for you, Adam. I was actually in the SF office. I'm in there fairly regularly. That whiteboard, I think that got changed about 10 years ago now. Unfortunately, it wasn't my decision, so I don't can't help on that. And yeah, we don't generally take people at the door of the office, but there can be arrangements made beforehand. It's not a very common thing to have people in for various reasons.
If I turned up with a jar of Vegemite, you wouldn't let me in?
Absolutely not. We do not allow foul death pastes in the office.
And we'd need a verified Second Life
what about the
license
thing you
showing
spread
who
on
you are.
toast? You just called me
Butter?
foul death paste.
You mean butter?
Horrible. No, it was a joke.
You'd end
I'm
up
sorry. I'm sorry. I was being flippant.
You'd end up causing a Vegemite versus Marmite argument, and that might consume the entire grid. I will only say an answer to that. Exactly.
Is there? This is so random, but is there a? I know you've got the SL Second Life official Flickr group. Is there one for Linden Homes? And if not, why not? Because people showcasing their homes and people looking at what they can do with their homes may actually entice more people to get those homes.
It's not a bad idea, actually. I like that.
Agreed, Nix. It's one of the great things is seeing how the different kinds of interactions are happening. And it's a great in conjunction with the mobile viewer right now, because you can do Discord on your mobile and do the mobile viewer for Second Life that way too. Personally, I'm an old fart, so I will probably always be a PC Second Life user. I mean, I've checked out the mobile one, of course, but part of our longevity will be getting, newer people in there too. We still
I'm still
have.
waiting for Second Life for the Amiga system. So
Commodore 64. We still have about 15 to almost 20 minutes left. Anything else that anybody wants to go over?
Will there be a Linden Homes channel on the Discord page?
I'm not sure, but that's not something I would object to. So,
Maybe,
like I said, it
because-
wouldn't be support driven. It'd be
Right.
for residents to assist each other. But I don't see anything against it.
Right, because there's a land help section in the help section, but
Mhm.
there doesn't seem to be a Linden Homes specific one, which I think people would find helpful, especially those that are curious about getting one but still haven't made that plunge.
And new people that are like, "What the heck is a control panel, and how do I use it?"
Exactly.
Yeah, one thing that I
Ellie?
want to do as we make those new channels and everything in there is pin things like the Covenant and the Wiki help guide specifically for Linden Homes, but other things for the other ones as well.
It's fantastic because then it's able to be translated potentially better or easier or...
Oh, silly idea for the. I know you can schedule restarts on a timetable now. A tick box to say don't bother following the schedule on grid roll days because it's going to restart anyway.
That makes sense. Wendi, you were going to answer Ellie?
yeah, I was going to answer Ellie. We're always looking at new projects. I'm certainly always looking for something out there. One that we've talked about before, and we're going to bounce into again at some point here is connecting part of the roadway between the Bay City area and the rest of that continent. There's a couple of other road projects that are being looked at. They are taking a bit of a back burner, but they are still in progress. And yeah, I'm always looking at things that might need to be fixed. That have gotten broken or have been sitting around for a while and gotten damaged. So, yeah, if there are things out there on the mainland that need a little care and attention, I'd love to take a look at them. I can't do all of them, unfortunately, but it's good to look at and fix what we can when we can. Thank you.
What
Yes,
about
Wendi, I still have
updating?
your last proposal, and I'm working on it.
Yeah, I know. Go ahead.
What about updating the terrain textures for mainland? They're very out of date.
I think that's something that we've actually been looking at how to do that because, as you know, the mainland is quite sizable, and it becomes a question of we obviously want to, move those up to PBR textures. Not everyone right now can see PBR textures. So, what's our timing going to be like? Do we start in a small area and work out, which is that small area? So there's a lot of considerations, but we are definitely looking at that because, like everyone else, we want the mainland to look as good as it can.
On an unrelated topic, why on the mobile viewer are instant messages totally messed up? I mean, I will log into the mobile viewer and instant messages I'm getting can be months old. And I know that because I get offlines to my email and obviously from my PC, but are they aware of this? Or is this something we should file a report on?
I haven't heard that, so I would say definitely submit a report about that.
Okay, thank you.
And also what Nick said, tomorrow, I believe Thursday, is the mobile app user group.
What time is that at, Nick?
I said noon.
Wendy? Noon. Okay, thanks.
Also, Wendi, they were asking about if you were a lifetime premium account and you wanted to pick a specific Linden home, could you upgrade to Premium Plus and pick a specific premium Linden home, not Premium Plus, and then let the downgrade back to premium afterward? I wasn't sure if you could actually pick a specific premium home as a Premium Plus user or not.
You can't, unfortunately. As far as the bigger question, I would say file a support ticket and we'll look at it, but I'm not sure on the specifics on that because a lifetime is a lifetime account. It's not really upgradable or downgradable. They may be able to assist in some way, however, so please do check in.
For the
I
low
interject on
cost
this
of
one,
$9.99, just kidding.
Yeah, it was a lot more than that. So, I was just gonna say because I was premium lifetime, and I had to jump on the upgrade last year. That I'm so grateful that they gave us that option. Premium lifetime had us locked, and we couldn't do anything. So it ended up being worth it to pay even more to get the lifetime premium plus. So Melissa, you might want to just sort of stay up for 24 hours when the birthday announcements happen and see if they offer that option again this year, because I couldn't have done another year that way. It was really hard. Fair enough. If the other option is just get premium plus on another account, but it won't work for a premium house though.
And I expect that particular issue to become even more prevalent when the next Linden Home theme goes out. Oh, I keep hinting about it and I don't say anything more.
I heard nothing, Izzy. Heard nothing.
Does anybody else want to guess what the new feature is? I won't be able to tell you whether you're right or wrong, but you could guess.
Izzy is bursting at the themes about this.
I can't wait for it to come out. I really, really can't wait. Mass Hysteria was the April 1st thing, not the new Linden Home thing.
Although I'm sure that it will cause some hysteria when it comes out.
Linden Homes now on event regions?
That's a neat idea.
I know that when Tiki came out, it was those were some very long days of helping assign homes.
We don't have a Tiki theme, Wendi. We have a
Sorry,
Thousand Islands
Thousand
theme.
Island theme. Yes, correct. Yes, we have the Tiki homes on our various Sims, Izzy.
Ooh. Them's fighting words. Sassy, are you drawing a correlation from the fact that we had ranch before?
You like to talk about food at Linden Labs, aren't we on the peach viewer or something, or the apple sauce, cranberry jam or something?
Cobbler. and
Oh,
carrot
couple.
cake.
I knew it was something.
I think we're currently on, aren't we on carrot cake?
Yep.
And then durian scones is next.
That's right. You alphabetize and cake bake.
Just to make us all be like, I can't wait to get home and bake.
It's actually a really good idea. I've been doing that with some of my releases, alphabetizing them, but then city names or places
That's cool.
names.
One of the things that we did when designing a particular project that had many different areas to it, and no, this isn't a hint about the new Linden homes, just so people don't try to draw correlations between them. But the project had a lot of varied styled areas, and so we attached city names to them that kind of matched the thematic sense of the area to kind of keep everybody in mind for what the feel was supposed to be of that particular area or whatever.
That's very cool. Actually, there used to be a content creator. He's still a content creator in SL, but he used to have a shoe store, Enki Things, and he used to actually name all his releases after your region names, your mainland names.
Oh.
He would just open up the map, find something, and that would be what he'd name his next release.
I'm not sure if you guys have seen it yet. Oh, actually, I don't think they're out yet. But in the next release of Thousand Island Regions, hold on, I'm going to see real quickly whether these are released yet. Click.
There's a Linden home idea for you. That big 3-region long Galaxy cruise liner. Make a few more of those and make them Linden homes.
But make everybody have a little cabin.
That
Yeah.
would be cool. That would be really cool.
But there is a region out there called Hakuna. And can anybody tell me what the diagonally adjacent region name is? Exactly.
See, the one problem with like a stateroom Linden home is probably the same problem we've had when looking at doing like a city urban theme, is that you end up with people being very close together. So you end up with conversations through walls and things like that. You end up with some of the problems of that close living, as opposed to having a nice buffer between spaces. So that would be a
Wendy,
challenge to
You
overcome.
that may
can't
be
you set
solved.
the audio settings
Yeah.
up for that though?
Well, it's not just audio and stuff. It's if you put something on your wall and the wall is paper thin, it could
Oh right, yeah,
technically go
through
into the
text.
other person's parcel. But we have a feature that's coming out in a future theme that actually addressed that issue.
Oh, please have culling volumes. Please have culling volumes.
No comment.
There is no one.
Greetings, Bella.
Question.
One thing I was going to add, you mentioned, of course, those region names, Izzy. I actually did have the pleasure of being able to name a couple of the Thousand Island regions. So
I like lobster tails. That's so cute.
I did I did, of course, a Ruth related one and a Magellan related one. So
Makes sense.
There ever be
Also, keep it. Sorry to interrupt real quick, but also remember things like Fantasy Fair and stuff like that. A lot of times we offer in those auctions the ability to name a Linden Home region and stuff like that. So if you ever have an interest in getting a Linden Home region named after something in particular, those auctions are a great way to do that.
I was going to ask if you ever considered making some prefabs that you would allow to not cost against prim count for the mainland people that suffer from prim limits and things like that. You know, sort of like a box-in library where you could pull out a home and it just doesn't count.
So yes and no. First of all, the no part is we don't have anything currently out, but we're considering some stuff. And also, it wouldn't be a no prim count. However, some of the Linden homes that aren't available or anything like that, we're looking at possibly putting into either a free marketplace or library or something like that. So if somebody wanted that Linden home type and we didn't have it available anymore, and you wanted to put it on your mainland parcel, we're looking at how we might be able to facilitate that.
You know, going back to the idea of the whole national park thing and no building below 2,000 meters, since everybody would be in skyboxes anyway, that could be an idea. Just be like, what type of house do you want? We've got a selection. So there wouldn't have to be a theme.
It's definitely a possibility. There's certain things that we try to avoid, which is why skyboxes aren't allowed in Linden homes in certain capacities, because skyboxes.
Well, yeah, I mean, that would be specifically for if you went ahead with a national park thing, because then it would only be skyboxes and they'd all be up 2,000 meters so that people can fly under them.
But Seattle, don't stop there. What if at some point when we come up with a Linden home theme that was appropriate to it, I may be able to come up with community areas that might be like a 2 to 4 region build that is a national park or safari or something like that. Well, next we have the forest theme with tree houses. So
I was just thinking it would be because you'd effectively be the users would be funding the national park by putting their premium tier towards having the thing.
I still view that true of community regions also, because people that are in that theme are contributing to the existence of that community region. But it's definitely something that I will keep in mind. I believe, Sassy, it was you that said, could you die? Well, there are certain things like God, the word is one of the games has just left my head, Paleo Quest and stuff, where you can get returned, and with Combat 2.0 and all of the features that allows, there's all sorts of fun that we can have moving forward.
Oh, you
That'd be
have
hilarious.
multiple.
I mean, nobody wants any hunting or anything. I'm not saying like a but I mean, if you're just
Hunt the
crossing the
furries.
Serengeti and you get stampeded on or something, that would
Followed
be
by a
just
lion.
the coolest fun. Yeah, exactly.
Well, I
You
mean, have you
challenge
ever
us to
been
get
run over
across.
by a bus in Paleo Quest? Or Linden
No, I
Realms? I
never.
can't remember which one it was. There's a bus that would, if you get hit a certain trip, you have bus comes up and runs you over and sends you back to start.
That is so cool. But I would just love that as part of the Linden Homes sort of like you said, if you put the safari or a national park or something like that.
And the other thing we're looking at is, and I don't want to, especially when we're just about ready to end this meeting, but with the advent of AI and such, I'm looking at how we can make more interactive quest givers and such. Instead of just click, it tells you the next thing. Maybe you have to talk with it and say the right keyword to get the clue. So it's all stuff that we're looking at. It just obviously takes time. But I love our
It's
moles.
exciting. Yeah. Well, Melissa and I are here forever, so so we'll see it one day.
Yeah, I'm going to have to start charging you two rent in the Linden Estate Services region.
We paid rent. We already paid it. Lots of it.
All right, I have to run to my next meeting, but thank you all. Have an
Likewise.
amazing day.
Thank
So
you
is there
all for
another
coming.
user
We
group
appreciate
meeting or
you.
is a special Linden meeting?
I think the next is tomorrow. Or Dahlia, go ahead. Now's your chance.
Are you listening? Sorry, my English is so-so. I am Italian.
Fine.
One good thing will be have one sandbox with more time for create. I know our Linden homes have a little prims, but the sandbox 4 hours is too short.
I'll pass that along too. Thank you.
Yeah.
I run a private
Thing
sandbox. You're
will
more than welcome to use it, and it has a 12-hour auto return.
Also,
There's
you've
an
got the
option.
rumpus rooms as well. Probably the rumpus regions it's rumpus, right? I think that's what they're
Yeah.
called. Those ones I don't think have a small limit either. I think that those let you res for a long time also if you want to try those.
Right. I have to run. I'll take care.
So much. Great meeting.